So hey everyone, how's it going? Hope you're all having a good time. So today we're gonna look at how to put text behind objects and people in Premiere Pro. Well, you can use this method for other editing software as well, but since I mainly use Premiere, I'm gonna do it in that. So this is a pretty simple effect to do, but when used at the right moment can give your videos that last bit of depth, that last bit of to make it stand out a bit more. Now, there are a couple of ways to do this. So the first one is the more easier one, but it only works with a certain types of clips that are silhouettes. So if you're working with a silhouette clip and you want to add text behind your main subject, this will be the easiest way to do so. Now, after adding the clip in your timeline, add the text on top of it. So I'm just gonna add text and maybe change the color to see it better. Let's go with red. Position it around however you like, and make sure that the text layer is covering the entire video clip, or at least the area that you want the effect in. So after you're done adding the text, go to effects control, come down to opacity and in blending mode, and change the blending mode to darken. And this will change the blending mode of the text layer so that it is behind anything that is black or darker in exposure. Now, as you can see, the text layer is completely masked out. It's not overlapping me in any way. It has done a perfect job of separating both the layers, and it's actually looking really good. See, it's that easy. Let's look at another clip. So this clip right here is a perfect example for this method because the main subject, which in this case is the plant, doesn't have a more uniform shape, rather has a lot of edges going on because of all those blades of grass. So again, after you added the clip in the timeline, add the text on top of it. I'm just gonna add text, position it around however you like. I'm just gonna put it just on top of those blades of grass. Go to effects panel under the opacity tab, change the blending mode to darken, and see the text layer is completely maxed out behind the plant. It's not overlapping it in any way. It is completely separated and it has done an amazing job. If I zoom in a bit, you can see that the text layer is behind individual blades of grass and none of it is overlapping it in any way. Now if I change back the blending mode back to normal, you can see that the text is now on top of the blade, and let's change it back to darken again and see it is perfectly masked out. But as I said earlier, this method only works with silhouette clips. So if you're working with a clip that is not silhouette, then you'll have to go with the second way, which is more painful and time taking, but still relatively easy to do. Now for the second method, again, after you're done adding the clip, add the text on top of it, position it around however you like. Now after you're done adding the text, again, go to effects control. Underneath the text layer, click on this pen tool option right here, which is just below the text layer. And we're going to use this to create a mask around our subject, which in this case is me. And one simple tip when you're creating a mask, try to lower down the opacity of the text layer so that you can see it much more better, and while having the text layer acting as a guide. So let's reduce it to like 10% or maybe 5% actually. Now I can see my subject much better while the text layer will act as a guide. After you're done creating the mask around your subject, turn back up the opacity. See, now we have created a mask around our subject, but the text is still on top of me and not behind me. To fix that, again, go to effects control, come down to the text layer, select the mask that we just created, and click on this inverted option right here. That will invert the mask, which will put the text behind your subject. It's not the best mask that I created. It's just a simple quick one. They're still rough around the edges, so the more time you give, the better results you will get while creating these masks. But for this video, I just created this quick one. After you're done creating the mask, now we'll have to track it. Since this mask is only for this one frame, we'll have to track it up for this entire clip. Well, Premiere does have a track mask feature, but it doesn't work that good, and I actually prefer to do it manually. And since this clip doesn't have a lot of motion going around, I can skip on a couple of frames to track on the mask. But if your clip has a lot of motion going on, I would highly recommend you to go frame by frame and track out the motion to get the best looking results. So to track the mask, now go to effects control, go to the text layer underneath the mask. Just beside this mask path option, click on this stopwatch icon right here to add a keyframe. Now I'm gonna move it a bit. Let's say it is like 5-10 frames, I guess. And now we'll have to just adjust mask according to the movement of our subject. Since I'm not moving that much, it will not take that much adjusting, but it depends on clip to clip. And to make your mask look more smoother, mess around with this mask feather option here to change how sharp or smooth the edges of your mask is around your subject. So I'm just gonna put it a bit below, let's say 3. 10 was a bit too high, I guess. Let's change it to 5. Now I'm gonna just go ahead and track this whole mask. This is the time taking part of this process. Other than that, this is a pretty simple thing to do. So I completed tracking this mask and repositioned the text around. It's still not the best looking one. I did it in like under 15 minutes, so it's still rough around the edges, but you get the idea of how this works, and the more time you put in, the better results you will get. Still, I guess it looks pretty good. See, there are a bit of warping just around my face and around the cap. You can fix that up, but it will require more time, and you get the idea what I'm saying. So overall speaking, this is not that complicated of an effect to do, but every time you look at it, it looks amazing, and it is one of those effects, the more time you put in, the better results you will get. This will require maybe some practice to, get around it much better and more faster than this. So go ahead and just practice it up as much as you can. Still, a pretty good effect whenever you look at it, I'm not gonna lie. So this is it for today's video, I guess. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.